All right, y'all see, we sitting here chilling today with Christopher Play Martin of Kid and Play, a hip hop legend. How does that feel in your life?
Well, I'm working on the legend part, but I'll let you go ahead and prophetically throw it out there. But we're still working on that, still chipping away on that one.
Hey man, y'all did stuff as Kid and Play that the new school dudes they don't do nowadays. Like I was watching your documentary and it's like, hey, without the dancers, ain't nothing really going on that stage.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all about the climate and the atmosphere. The thing, as you know, the ingredients to a hit song is relatability.
Yes.
A catchphrase that hooks on, that catches on because people can identify with it, the lyrics and all of that. So if we're in a season of not that much dancing, that's what it is. But I know the era that I flourished in and continue to do so, that was something that the artist wanted to. You had to have the majority of your playlists, something that you would hope you'd get people out there on the dance floor and dance, and then you had your moment of social awareness and things of that nature. But I think the number one priority was we got to get something that's going to get these people on the dance floor.
How about that? So we're gonna talk about the documentary, but I gotta ask you, how does this feel? Because I know it would feel good if I were you guys, that at every party when they play some old school, everybody's trying to do the Kid and Play dance.
It's humbling, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. No way in the world could I ever try and take credit to say, well, we did this and we knew this was going to happen. We were just being ourselves. And, like you said, we'll get to it in regards to even the dancers featured in the documentary. Those were people we hung out with and got, at the club, the Latin Quarter, Union Square, all of those places in New York, and got together and just danced and made stuff up and did all of that. And Kid and I were fortunate enough to bring that into our music, into our music videos, into our movies. And, the list goes on.
So you got the documentary, And I Danced. So what made you do And I Danced?
Well, a little background. Some people might find the title a little odd, but the title is actually the end of a sentence, because the main people that's in it, so many of them are parents now. So they're like successful parents, successful entrepreneurs, community leaders, teachers, business owners, the list goes on. And I danced. So it's like, as they give you this list of their accomplishments and what they do, oh yeah, by the way, and I danced. So that's where the title comes from. But it basically came about one day. My clearest recollection of it was when I was watching TV, had the opportunity to watch TV, and did some channel surfing, and ended up catching one of those music channels that they just gave a tribute that day, or at least during the time I was watching it, to throwbacks. So as I'm watching these music videos, it's bringing back great memories and feel good. You know what that music can do, that feel good. Yes, and I'm like watching it and reminiscing, and I'm like, wow, I wonder what she's up to. I wonder what he's up to. All of that. So in this amusement park I call a mind of mine, this idea began to develop in regards to if there was a documentary about it. I held on to it for quite a while, a couple of years, till I had a conversation with a young lady by the name of Portia Kirkland, who happened to be the daughter of BK Kirkland, who used to run WBLS in its heyday and continues to do their thing. But so I don't know how we got on the subject, but I told her about the idea and my reluctance to do it, because I didn't think the dancers would be willing to share such precious stories and testimonies and all of that, because it's theirs, But she was like, no, you're wrong. Are you kidding? We would love to tell people our story, because she danced for Heavy D, she danced for EPMD and New Kids on the Block and all of that. So big shout out to Portia Kirkland. So with all that being said, is after a period of time, and I finally worked up the courage to move forward with it, she was my first one, and Afro were my first two interviewers. And the word got out, and my two co-producers, Shane Johnson, Bob, congratulations on her marriage, and Danielle Ortiz. Danielle Ortiz is on the West Coast. Shane is on the East Coast. So as I'm doing this I Love the 90s tour, the Kid and I are on, it gave me also the opportunity to find these dancers, because they're all scattered out throughout the country. and to get together with him. So that's why it took like 7 to 8 years to get this thing done.
Wow, you've been working hard on this. So this is, as I was watching it, and I'm listening to the people tell their stories and how they got started. My question was, so did Play start off rapping, or did he start off dancing and then got into rapping to do the movies, like the house parties and stuff like that?
Well, it was all about finding yourself. You know, it's that age we all go to where you're trying to find your identity and see where you fit. So, you know, it was nothing where it was official, but yeah, I love to dance. I did dance, but not like being part of a crew or anything. It's just what me and my homeboys at the time did to get the interest of the young lady we were interested in. So my first thing was messing around on 2 home turntables, you know, and that was so. And then I did my thing as far as the break dancing and all of that stuff, being in the cypher at the party. But, you know, where I guess I really excelled was once I picked up the microphone. But it wasn't a conscious, deliberate thing. It was just you do as you do when you're young, and you like, you know, you're experimenting, I guess, or trying to find yourself. And I did well on all of those, except for the DJing part. No one ever saw me DJ. I never DJ'd in front of a crowd. It was always in the privacy of my home when my parents was away, so I could sneak their turntables and disconfigure them, you know, before they got home from work to see what I did.
Right. That's how we all started, like that.
Yes, sir.
So is there, when people watch this documentary, what do you want people to get out of this?
You know, for me, I don't believe anyone should invest their time, especially when it's over an hour, to watch a movie or to watch anything. I think you shouldn't be the same person you were when you pressed play or turned it on after the time you finished watching it. I think something should have occurred, either something inspirational, something that you know, something different than before you watched it or listened to it. So I love documentaries for that reason. For me, it's cool for people to go, Play, you did a great job. You did a fantastic job. If that's how they feel, that's great. But what I really feel good about, and when I know I've done what I was supposed to do, is when I hear somebody say, wow, I didn't know that. And I've been getting a lot of that with this project, which really makes me feel good. I've lived a lifetime of applause and personal accolades, but to be able to be in a situation to bring a great community of dancers, their flowers now. 3 have passed since the making of this. God bless their souls. Venus, Shake Matthews, that's the one you see at the very end, and also Tyrone Proctor, who was the original Soul Train Gang dancer. But for people to say, wow, I didn't know that, then I know I've done my thing. So for me, first, for people to go down memory lane, nostalgic wise, and just hopefully enjoy the music, enjoy the tales, the testimonies, and to find out the names and the identities to these dancers that either they mocked their style or they mocked their dancing or enjoyed watching them dance or had a crush on them, you know, just to get some insight. And please know that this 2-hour documentary, which is totally free for everyone, is the first part of another 3 more installments. So it's really And I Danced, the beginnings, because most of the dancers talk about how they got started.
Right.
But in the future installments, you'll hear about the journeys, details about how certain things happened, and then we'll get into what they're doing now. And the last installment I'm really excited about is about the young generation that's doing it now, and how some of them are the children of some of these dancers and how they're making it in their own way.
Okay, so let me go on and say it. Wow, I didn't know that, because it starts off, you are showing some classic nostalgic dancers.
Thank you for that.
They in black and white.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. And this is what I learned, because I started writing down names and I was like, oh, he's just showing the list of people. That's not necessarily the person who's dancing.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to write down the guy's name, because I think I wrote down Richard Swoop White Bear. And I was like, Michael Jackson did not invent the moonwalk, because this dude is doing it in the very beginning, and it's in black and white. So I said, we gave Michael Jackson these accolades for him inventing it, but he's not the one who invented it.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that was, and I give all credit to the Lord who leads me in my creativity. He's my agent, my accountant, my lawyer, and my manager. And in that place in my life, you know, I felt it was very important for people to see there's nothing new under the sun. To see the guy with the straw hat on doing
Yes, sir.
the thing on the floor,
Hmm.
spinning. To see, like you said, the moonwalk. Because even before there was Michael Jackson, the one who originally introduced the moonwalk on national television was Jeffrey Daniels of the group Shalimar. That's
Okay.
who first did it. And then you had those before him, but it goes all the way, like you said, back to the black and white era. So to see all those moves that are identical to what we see today, there's nothing new under the sun. So that was my tribute to them, the Nicholas brothers and all of that. But it's interesting you bring that up. I might have to do a little tweaking there and just say featuring before you see those names, so people won't think that those names are the ones that you see in the black and white. But no, I got that from the Black and White Historical Film Foundation, and a big shout out to them. But yeah, I wanted people to see the history of that in that opening. The first thing, the first impression is like, there's nothing new under the sun. This was done before. We ain't all that,
All right. So let me ask you this, because as I was listening to it and they started talking about choreography and all that kind of stuff and people coming up with their own stuff. So did Ken Play do their own choreography, or did you all have somebody do your dances and then you just catch on to it?
No, I mean, it was a combination of a lot of things. Like, again, the community in which we've all come from, yes, dancing was important in the privacy of our home to make up something, to invent something. But the real fruit came from the community of coming together at the parties and bugging out and having fun. And when you see a reaction from the crowd, you're like, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. Maybe this is mine or something that I'll be associated with. But no, I mean, yeah, we've had choreographers work with us, but then we were able to bring things to the table too. So it was a collaborative, collective effort in regards to all of that. Because, Ken and I, we danced, we did out there along with our other friends in the clubs, in the parties, and all of that. So it wasn't like we were, had two left legs and someone had to teach us. We brought it too. But it's one of those things that when you find out about a group of people who make a song, and, if you get deep into it, so-and-so came up with this sentence, so-and-so came up with that. It's a group. It's a teamwork makes the dream work type thing.
Love that. So as you going around talking to all these dancers, who, and I know that you kind of know a lot of them, but don't really know they personal stories. Who told the story and you was like, wow, I didn't know that?
Oh, I did that a lot. As far as my wish list, I was so excited to get everyone I get. And I'm not just saying that because I think that's something everybody wants to hear, or it's a diplomatic thing to say, is that, getting Heart and Soul, Bobby Brown's dancers meant a lot to me. That, and they didn't let me down. They need their own show. They're incredible. Talking with Fendi, who danced for EPMD. He wasn't an easy one to find and to get, but it meant everything for authenticity and just letting people know that I dig deep for this. To get Boogaloo Shrimp or Turbo,
Yes.
that wasn't even intentional. We just happened to be doing a show with him, him, and Belle Biv DeVoe and some others, and he was kind enough for me meeting him for the first time. Kid had already knew him, but for me to meet him at the first time and let's just go in the dressing room and let's make it happen. That's one of the things I like about the piece is if you pay attention to the sound, you see where there was a controlled environment of discussion, but then it was that backstage situation, getting current people like Danny Lee. That was big. T-Boz, of course, friend, but that was cool. There's so many that I can name. Omar, that used to dance with Janet Jackson, but danced with us first in Salt and Pepper. His story is amazing. Oliver, who danced with Madonna. I didn't have that in this installment, but it's coming. His story is amazing. So everything was just really, really dope. Getting Scoob Lover, who danced with Kane and Sean Bailey. I mean, the list goes on. So Carrie Ann Anaba, from original Fly Girls, from Living Color.
Right.
That was amazing. We were brought into CBS to do a special birthday surprise on what's our girl's name on the talk? Oh man. Oh, I feel embarrassed that I don't. Well, they brought us in to celebrate her birthday to do a surprise, and to see Carrie Ann Anaba there, knowing who she was and her relationship to the dance community, for her to say yes and give me that conversation on camera was amazing. So the whole thing was humbling, and every time I got someone, I celebrated and was excited and called my co-producer, yo, guess who I got now? So all of that right there was like really, really cool. Get the at the top of the list too, getting 2 of the original Soul Train gang dancers.
Yes.
That was huge for me. Huge. And did what I needed to do to get it. But that was huge.
Okay, so let me tell you a couple of wild moments for me. One was I did not know Flex Alexander was a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I had to rewind. I said, did I just say Flex? And I had to rewind that back to see Flex actually doing this thing. I was like, oh, that's cool right there. I didn't know. And that was kind of humbling to see him talk about, I got to keep saying thanks to,
Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, Salt and
Cheryl
Pepper, because if it wasn't for them giving him that opportunity, you open up doors to do things. And the girl who told the story about you guys, that she said she wanted to be a dancer, and she went to the club, and it just so happened y'all was at the club that night.
Oh, Shane, I think you told him. That's one of the co-producers, Shane Johnson. Yeah, we met at the Red Parrot.
That's it, the Red Parrot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She said how you gave her a shot at it, and she made it do what it do for you. I was like, oh, that's cool right there. That's some down to earth brothers right there.
Right.
So let me ask you something off the beaten path right here. In your career, first of all, do you like being called play? Because some people don't like being called
I worked hard enough for it, so yes, it's cool. It's about a person's comfort level. It's either that or Christopher. Some people try to call me Chris. I don't like Christopher. But no, play is fine. I worked hard for that. So it's like, why not let it be beneficial when it calls for?
Okay. So is there anything during your career from back then that you look at and say, ooh, if I could do that over, I wouldn't do that? A look, a style, a dance, or anything?
No, nothing off the top of my head. I'm sure if I think hard enough and really think hard, but if that's the case, then it probably wasn't nothing. But I can't think of anything off the top of the dome I would have done differently. As far as fashion goes, I've always had full control of that. I've designed a lot of my stuff personally and for others. So nothing. I mean, would I wear that same thing today? Probably not, but not regretting it at the time. As far as the dance move and stuff, no. I might have to think on that one, but nothing that quickly comes to mind. I mean, of course, in life, knowing what you know now, would you have done it the same way? Not necessarily so, because you know how that movie is going to end. So you don't want to do that again.
Right.
But knowing what I knew at the time, and if it didn't benefit me at the time, but there was a lesson learned out of it, so I know better the next time, then it was well worth it. But no, I can't think of anything off the top of the dome right now.
That's all right. That means you did everything. You liked everything that you did.
I did what I did with what I knew at the time, and at the same time, some stuff where I knew better, yes, I did it anyway. Chalk that up to ignorant, arrogant, youthful stupidity. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
So what would you like to do? What would Play like to do?
Well, I'm living my bucket list now. Thank God it's not inspired by any negative doctor's report. And this documentary is part of it. You hear of people doing things that may sound ridiculous because you're so caught up in the matrix of the world in regards to it's supposed to be like this, and you should get paid for that, and you should do this and this and that. And it's like, I come from a place where it's like I've watched people do some things that I might have judged at the time, but secretly I'm like, wow, I wish I was in that position to do that. I'll never forget something that involved LL Cool J. He was doing an interview, and the interviewer was interviewing him in regards to the promotion for the television show he was doing or about to do, called In the House.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't remember that person who was interviewing him, it might have been Rolling Stone magazines or something like that, he had did an interview with them years before. And he had made a statement saying any rappers that does televisions or movies or commercials, they're sellout, they're played out, all that stuff. So he didn't know he had said that before. So the interviewer said he brought that to his attention. It was one of those maybe gotcha questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at the edge of my seat like, uh-oh, how's LL going to get out of this? And he said something that made my stock in him in regards to that soar. If it was on the stock market, it soared up. He said, you said, the interviewer said, you said anybody, rappers that would do movies and television, stuff like that, they're sellout, you know, they're whack. But now you're doing this television show. What's up? And he said, oh, I probably said that because I thought I would never be able to do it. And that hit so hard to me. That was like, wow. And how much of that is really, I could speak for other genres, but definitely in hip hop, where, you know, we tend, because of our insecurity, so to speak, or think we have limited limitations on how far we will go in life and what we're able to do, instead of maybe thanking or congratulating someone that's doing it or whatever, we tend to be, oh, that's whack, or, you know, they soft or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my answer to this right here, is the fact that to be in a situation to give, like when I first introduced this documentary, people who saw it and I was humbled by it, this can make money. This can be, you know, and I'm like, no, I feel very led by my agent, accountant, and lawyer and manager,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, to give this away, because I don't even need to think that this will be the last thing I do. Normally you'll treat things like that because you think you'll never be able to do it again. I know there's more coming out of this amusement park I call a mind of mine. So for me, I was and still am very sincere to say thank you to these dancers, if I may, on behalf of my peers as artists in entertainment. So here's our way of giving our flowers and saying thank you. Here's a gift. I don't think gift and money is synonymous, not unless you're paying for the gift to give to somebody.
Right.
But in order for it to be a gift, to say, here's a gift, but you have to pay this to see it, no, I didn't want to do that. And I'm in a situation where I can. So, you know, instead of giving back, why don't I just give? You know, give back is cool, but it's got a little thing on it of conditional. You know, you gave to me, so I'm giving to you. Well, someone's got to give first. So I just wanted to give to the dancers as much as possible, but also to the audiences. I don't want money to be in the way of people knowing about them, and I don't want money to be in the way of my sincerity of saying thank you.
How about that? So it's called And I Danced, and it's, so technically it's really a part of a docu-series, really.
Yes, a limited series. That's the intention. Yes.
Okay. So, and is it kind of like you really showing the stage presence, the people that's on stage? These are all the people that make the show happen. It's kind of what it looks like to me, what you're showing. Like you show the dancers, of course, and then, you know, I'm sure you talk to a few of the artists, and then you're going to go to the new school. And this is all what happens. This is what your ticket pays for. These are all the people that put this show on for you. It's kind of what it sounds like it is.
It gives you insight and backstage passes. I mean, I was so glad, not just hearing it from me, but to hear it from, you know, who else is in it that speaks the same thing. Genuine, Ariane, Salt herself, T-Boz, Danny Lee, Seven Streeter, Belle Biv DeVoe, and I have more that speak on the fact of how important dancing is, and it's Cisco, in regards to how important dancers are to their shows and to an artist's show. I think Cisco says it pretty blatantly. He says, you know, hey, if it wasn't for dancers in some of these people's shows, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And even MC Light, who's in it, who says the same thing. She said, I don't dance. That's not what I do.
Right.
But I recognize the fact that does something for my audience. So that's why I have my dance. That was another big one that I got, that it was big for me, was to get leg 1 and leg 2, because Light has been around for a minute, and they forgot Light used to have dancers with her and during her, you know, her journey as well.
I love their story, because their story shows when you determine to do something,
Alaska,
you can make it happen.
Coming from Alaska.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love that. So another thing I learned, I didn't know about the little beef that T-Boz had going on. I don't want to tell the whole series. I want them to be able to watch the documentary. But
Yeah,
when I
funny
saw that,
stories. Yeah,
when I saw that little beef story, I was like, I didn't realize that until you showed the 2 videos. I was like, oh, never paid that no attention.
So you're blessing me because that's it. And it's like, I don't want anybody to think it's a generational gap thing. Before I actually introduced this on the platform, and I do want to get into that before we go.
Yes, we
the
are.
platform that it was introduced on, I was doing for like a year and more advanced showings at colleges and universities before COVID broke loose.
Right.
I was in LA and did the top colleges and universities in LA and even the LA Film School, and gave got great reviews and reactions at a stage that it was at when it wasn't completed yet. I just wanted to see if I was going in the right direction and seeing the reactions. But that was a blessing. Professor Tim Conley and my man Mark, I forgot Mark's last name, who was my host out there, and it was all arranged by the Universal Hip Hop Museum and stuff. So yeah, and I did university in Florida and other places too before we're at where we're at right now.
Okay, I want to do this. I want to ask you some quick questions, and then we're gonna go into the platform so you can talk about how people can watch and I danced and all of that.
Sure.
In Play's career, what's one of your greatest accomplishments?
You know, I have multi layers. And I remember an interview Kid and I did on BET, one of the BET shows. And they asked basically what we wanted to accomplish when it was all said and done. And I said, I won an award for being a set designer, something to do with art, because I'm a self-taught artist and now into cinematography and stuff.
Okay.
And now remembering that, and Kid talking about he wanted to be one of the greats, like when you say Sade, to be a one name famous person. We say Madonna, Prince, he wants to be known Kid. So that was his answer. But for me, the quick answer is the salt and pepper jackets. The salt and pepper, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The salt and pepper logo and the salt and pepper jackets. That's a neck and neck thing. Of course, House Party and all of that and other things have been done, but that, along with others, was so unintentional. It's like Herbie was like, yo, I want you to come up with a logo, because that's what I was doing. And we have the logo. And then it was time to do the jackets, and I designed those and went to Dapper Dan and was over his workers' shoulders during every step of the way to have them done like the drawing. So that's a heck of a legacy that, wow. Kid and Play Kick Step, of course. It's no one answer, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
it's like, and meeting Earth, Wind and Fire, Maurice White. I'm a big Earth, Wind and Fire head. So, I mean, there's so many answers I could give,
Okay.
Yeah.
When you brought that up about the jacket, I remember that from the Salt and Pepper movie.
Right.
They showed that scene where it's like, yo, Kid, I need you to do, yeah, okay, I remember that part. Okay, what's a part of your career that you wish you could do over? Nothing.
I mean,
I love that.
Keeping it 100.
I love
because that means anything I would have done different, the result to date may not be the same. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I wish I was better. I wish I understood better the relationships between a man and a woman. That's something, because it's like what was in my heart and what I executed would be looked at as two different things. But because of the undevelopment and being kind of led astray or letting certain things influence you, I would have done things differently, in regards to, letting what you may consider the one you let get away type thing, So that's what comes to mind.
Okay. Favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food, which is representation of what type of guy I am for the most part. I'm not into limousines and chauffeurs and steak and lobster, but I don't indulge in it though. But it is my favorite food, Franks and beans.
Wow. Okay. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Okay.
Yeah. Not
movie?
any old Franks and beans. It's got to be a particular. It's got to be either National Hebrew Franks or what's the other one? Nathan's. Or it's particular. What do you call it? or the organic beans, baked beans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Organic baked beans.
Mhm.
Favorite movie?
I'm sorry, vegetarian baked beans. Favorite movie? My favorite movie for a long time has always been Citizen Kane.
Okay.
That's my favorite. There's some other close ones, but that's my favorite movie of all time.
Okay. Outside of Kid and Play, who's your favorite rappers? Just give me two of them.
Well, Kid and Play ain't in my favorite rappers thing. Kid is dope. My favorite rapper. Oh wow. Um, there's a new cat on the rise. Be on the lookout for him. His name is Oheni Savant. He's dope. Um, I don't know why it's skipping. I had a thing for Dave East for a minute. I haven't heard anything from him in a while, and that's my fault. Dave East, Oheni Savant, some Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What's the best show that you've been to? Where they put on a performance and you walked out of there and you was like, damn, they did that.
There's been so many of them, I'm sure you would assume, but for whatever reason, the one that just comes to my mind is, and we have good history together, is when you check out a Kid Capri show, DJ Kid Capri.
Yes.
My goodness. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, artists and stuff goes, I'm sure there are some, but none that come quickly to mind. But I mean, if you want an experience, DJ Kid Capri. Yeah.
Kid does do that thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What was the last thing you were listening to in your car that made you sit there? You wouldn't get out the car till it went off.
Oh man, I'm into my Pandora quite a bit. Again, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay.
Lately it's been it just depends. I go through my moments, man. It could be the Spinners. It just really depends. It could be, but right now, lately, it's been Luther Vandross.
Okay.
I miss Luther Vandross a lot. Lately, it's been Luther Vandross. Yeah.
Okay. Now I know you've done this. You can't tell me you haven't, because I'm pretty sure deep down in my heart you have. And this is going to be the last question, and we're going to talk about And I Dance. When was the last time you heard a Kid and Play record and you started dancing to it? Just not at a party, not at a club. You just at the house and you heard it or something, and you just got it. You just got it in.
It's been ages. Because when it comes on, if I'm channel surfing and it's on television, I'll go to another channel as soon as I see me on the screen. It's been a while, man. Because we've been touring up into the COVID. So just like, whatever your 9 to 5 is, that's the last thing you want to do in your free time. So it's like,
Okay.
I'm not listening to any Kid and Play or dancing because we do so much of it when we have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
So you're telling me you not at the house and it might not even be a Kid and Play record. It's just something that you like. And then you just I'm just feeling this right now. I'm just going, no. Huh?
No, I mean, there are tunes that are, ones that aren't as played as much that I truly enjoy. There's a track we did called Toe to Toe that I love as a remix of that. I think it was off the Face the Nation album, and a couple of others. But, it takes me not to have to hear it for a while to be like, really like, wow, this was, I need to hear it through the ears of not being me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But, yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
So no, you're good on that. You're good on that. So And I Dance, the documentary. Are you a dancer at heart? I mean, we know you rap, we know you dance, we know Play, the player from Kid and Play that can dance, that can rap. But are you a dancer at heart? Like, is that you? Like,
I think people and those that have been close to me for the very first time or be able to like really hang out with me, I think they're really surprised because I'm boring. I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. Anything to do with technology, especially with cinematography and the latest devices and cameras and lenses, that's what I'm on YouTube about, with research and tutorials and reviews and getting these things and figuring it out. My home, which doesn't even look like a home, it looks like probably like a camera or audio technical spot. You know what I'm saying? I have no social life. When people are telling me the latest thing going on in the world, a lot of times my answer would be, who is that? Who? Only because I'm in the laboratory, you know, ain't bathed in I don't know how long, haircut, woofy, you know, the whole nine.
Right.
So, nah, dancer at heart, maybe a singer at heart. And thank God I keep that in the privacy of my own home and in the shower. But no, you know, I enjoy watching others. And that had a lot to do with this documentary, was the fact of also for my own self-enjoyment is to watch others who really are passionate and it really exuberates and resonates out of them onto others.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the platform, streaming services, and I Dance, the documentary. Give everybody information about it.
Well, I'm very proud of the relationship that I have with the streaming platform called Streamwaves, STREAM, as in stream, ways, WAZE, Z as in zebra, Streamways. And it's owned, and it's the vision of Ron Lawrence, in the business more known as Amin Ra, who was a former Diddy hitman producer. He literally produced Biggie's Notorious. He literally produced Jay-Z's most street credible record, Where I'm From, Money, Power, Respect with the Lox, worked with Aretha Franklin, I believe got a Grammy or a plaque from that. His work with LL Cool J. I mean, the list goes on. It's not even fair for me to start naming people, but he's taken the fruits of his labor and decided to create a home for up and coming filmmakers, documentarians, and all genres of film and cinematography. And I was excited to be able to have it available on that platform and free of charge. I did, like I said, I didn't want to charge anybody. So just by going to streamways.com, or a direct link with no strings attached is on my IG platform, which is _playgrounds with a Z at the end, no S, a Z. We have a thing for Z's, but it's _playgrounds. You can get the direct link there, or go to streamwaves.com, and then you have And I Dance Doc on IG, as well as It's Kid and Play on IG. So all those things can be found there. It's available, and like I said, no strings attached. We do have hoodies and T-shirts and stuff available for people who love to dance, watch people dance, rehearse and dance, all of that kind of stuff. But no, it's absolutely free.
All right, absolutely free. Free. You heard all of the platforms you can get it on. Just about everything right there. And it's if you go to Streamways, don't forget it's Streamways with a Z, not with an S on it. It's with a Z. Anything else we need to let them know, Play?
No, man, I want to thank you for your time. I appreciate you because your time is more valuable than mine. So for you to take this time to support and for us to have this fellowship and dialogue, it's all good. So I thank you. It's very much appreciated.
Man, I appreciate you for taking your time out, and I Dance is very good, dog. You did a good job on that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And big shout out to DJ Bro Rab, who helped me with the music. And like I said, Shane Johnson, Bob, and Danielle Ortiz, and my silent co-executive producer, who was just now texting me, was Salt from Salt and Pepper. So I want to thank everybody that helped. My niece with some of the production, Quincy Kai Chapman with Indie Visuals, Ade Bajur, and also Jadam Sweet with visual lyricist. That's his thing. But you can see all of those in the credits and stuff. But again, thank you very much, and my flowers to you too while you're doing your thing.
Appreciate it, man. I just want to put this last thing out here. It's a dope documentary, but I know you said it's free for everybody. You weren't trying to really get no dollars off of it, and you're selling the T-shirts and the hoodies and stuff. But if you decide one day, you know what? I think we're going to sell the soundtrack off of this. Please make sure I get a copy of that.
The playlist, that's what I called it at the end, the playlist.
Yes, the playlist is incredible. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, man. Appreciate you, sir. Have a great day.
Salute, man. God bless you and yours greatly. And be safe out there, y'all.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
Peace.